I usually have an answer to the question, but this time I'm gonna be quiet. This time, ain't nothing like the feeling of a...
What is up, everyone? I am back with part 3 of What If Deku Was Gambit. So, last time I left you guys off on a cliffhanger. Sorry about that. I need to start timing these videos correctly now. But anyways, so, where we left off, Izuki grabbed Todoroki, and in this, Todoroki doesn't have daddy issues, because Endeavor is actually a good parent and knows what the fuck he's doing in this one. So, yeah. Alright. Okay, so we went past the USJ. Their 2 weeks are up. Alright. Not USJ. Sports festival. Let's go. Sports festival. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so sports festival. Mr. Aizawa comes in, announces it, and everybody's already ready for it because they were training. Everybody was training. Deku and Izuki were having special training with their partners. And Mr. Aizawa says, we're also getting a new student. She is also from... No. Where is she? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say she's from London too, just like Deku and Izuki. And I'm gonna say that she also knows them. So... Domino is making an appearance, and that's gonna be her legal name because I didn't really feel like searching up her real name, so her name's Domino. And so he says, Domino, please introduce yourself. And if you're asking who is she replacing, she's gonna replace the dude with the tail. Because I'm gonna say after the USJ, he drops out because he doesn't want to endanger his life like that. He thought being a hero was just going to be easy and not have that many risks involved. But he was wrong. So, yeah. He basically pussied out. Anyways, and Deku and Izuki stand up and look at her just like, wait a minute. They're just like, if you're here, that means he's here. And fucking... I'm gonna add Wolverine into this, but I'm just gonna say Wolverine is her father, so she has her abilities as her normal counterpart does, but she also has claws like Wolverine and a healing factor like Wolverine. Hang on, guys. Alright, sorry about that. My mom just called me. Okay, but anyways, and so Wolverine, or Logan, comes in through the door just saying, "What's up, bubs?" And he looks over and sees the twins, and he's just like, "Oh, you two." And they're just trying to hide themselves. Because I am gonna say that Logan and Domino are like family friends of Inko and Hisashi, and like basically he's basically like their uncle, you know, like that family friend that just feels like an uncle, so you just start calling him uncle. So it's basically like that. And in this Logan is like way more friendlier, and basically he's like Deadpool, but like not psychotic, not a pervert, just cheerful and funny, and also cuddly. Like, he loves hugs. He's a big hugger. So, anyways, he runs over there with blinding speed because he is faster than twins. Because, yeah, why not? And, yeah, so that works. That whole interaction happens. Also, he is like the number one hero in Canada. Because I'm going to say that they moved to Canada after the twins left and came here. So they moved to Canada. And yeah. So, sports festival time. Deku and Izuki are the representatives. So they give a little speech being like, oh, we are here because we deserve to be here. And we all know who gotta be petty and be like, only you guys would ever say that about yourselves. Look, Class 1A being all fucking ahead of themselves. And they just look at Monoma and just fucking... They both hold out their hands in unison. And like, start making them levitate off the ground. There's like... And I'm gonna say Logan is watching. And he jumps down. And it's like, hey. None of that. Stop it. Stop. You guys are mature than that. And they set him back down, but like harshly. And if you're wondering what they were about to do, they were about to basically play ping pong with Monoma until his brain was just like fucking racked. Like he would have amnesia. But yeah, so that happens. The race happens. Deku comes in first. Izuki in second, and so on and so forth. Cavalry battle, that goes as canon, just that Izuki's there, so yeah. I don't really feel like going over that many fights. Izuku's fight, it goes pretty good. It's a one-on-one with Domino. Domino ends up winning because she plays a little bit dirty. And then Deku's fight against Domino, Deku wins because he always plays dirty. Like he doesn't care. He's from a young age. He's just like, my enemies aren't always gonna play fair, so why should I? So he has honor, but on certain occasions he does play dirty. So yeah, the main event, Deku versus Todoroki. It's a close match. The same explosion happens, but and this time Deku throws up his shield after he throws his attack, and when the smoke clears, Todoroki is out of the ring, indented into a wall. Fun. So, yeah. That happens. Deku wins the entire thing. And what's next? Oh yeah. Deku gets the most invitations along with his sister and Domino, and all three of them decide to go to Hosu City to do Manuel because actually, you know what? No. I'm gonna say in this timeline, Ida is smart and he doesn't go for revenge. Because he knows if he does, he's gonna get his ass whooped by Deku and Izuki. I mean, Izuku. Izu- I- Whatever. Female Deku. Deku's twin. Alright. But, yeah, so he's not dumb in this one. And, yeah. So the sting attack does happen. They do end up being there because, they decided to go with Gunhead since all three of them are like mainly focused on like weaponry. So they go to Gunhead. And I'm gonna say that Gunhead and Snipe are basically like they're lovers. They're married, so their agencies are combined together and they're based in Hosu. So they go there, attack happens, they find Native, they rescue Native, fight Stain, and actually they bring him over to the good side. Because I'm gonna say he hasn't killed before, but he's just like injured heroes to where they won't be able to do anything ever again. So, and he was about to kill Native because he was just like, I should take a step up. But yeah, so he does the same thing as in canon, but instead of blood binding, he's just like, some heroes need to change how they work. Because some heroes are mostly in it for the money and fame, not to be actual heroes. And I'm going to say the Vanguard Action Squad, that would have been villains, they decided to become vigilantes. Still not good, but I mean, at least they're not going to be in the training arc. Because, yeah, it's about to go down in training arc. You're about to see. So, a couple weeks later, training arc, they're on the bus. And I'm going to say that, Kirishima gets a text on his phone. And I'm going to say that Deku, was being, really suspicious of Kirishima. Because Kirishima has been, disappearing at night. Just, no one knows where he is, and he just randomly comes back before day. And so Deku started following him, but he would always lose him under an underpass. So he always just, returned home. And so Deku has the ability to erase his presence. So even if he's sitting, right next to you, you won't know he's there. And so that's what he's doing. And so Kirishima gets a text being like, and it's from Shigaraki, just asking, is everything in motion? Is everybody on the bus? Is everybody going to be there? And Kirishima saying yes. And then Shigaraki's just like, is he going to be there? And he's referring to Deku. And at this point, Deku takes Kirishima's phone, being like, so, you're the UA traitor. And Kirishima's just like, And at this point, the bus has stopped. And so Kirishima, I'm going to say he got, a strength enhancing quirk from Alpha 1, along with his, hardening quirk. So he hardens up and punches Deku, out of the, bus, putting a hole through the bus. And everybody's just looking, just like, what's going on? And Deku gets up, with an angry scowl on his face, and being like, he's the UA traitor. And I finally caught him. And Izuki is just, looking at Kirishima, just tell me he's lying. Tell me it's just a misunderstanding. Tell me that you were forced. I don't really know if he was forced or something like that, but in this, I am gonna say he was forced. So, and he doesn't have any bugs on him because they knew that he had to go through like certain people could pick up high frequencies. Jiro. Um, so they don't put any bugs on him. Like the League of Villains don't have any other way to listen in on his conversations. So he explains what happened. I'm just gonna say they kidnapped his parents and said if you didn't do this and that, we're gonna kill your parents. And yeah, I'm gonna say his parents got turned into Nomus and got killed during the Hosu attack. So yeah, he's an orphan now. I'm sorry. So they devise a plan, being like, okay, so now that we know this, keep being undercover. Just play along, but when time comes, you're gonna need to like do the dash. You're just gonna have to run when I say so. And so everything goes up to canon except Koda doesn't. Except Koda's not there. So, well, actually no. Eri and Koda are there because why not? I'm just gonna say that Mirko and Hux took them out of school so they can be with their older siblings. Because, you know, being family trip. Because Mirko and Hawks are there for like training too. So yeah. Sorry about that. So yeah. And yeah. Attack happens. Everything almost goes to canon except Shiraki is mainly sending everybody out to kill Deku. Because he's salty about his arm. And so all the villains like sedated the other students. Like I mean like sedated, like they ain't working up for hours. And so it's basically like Deku versus the entire League of Villains. And I mean like entire League of Villains, like Toga, Twice, Dobby. Actually no, I said didn't I? I'm pretty sure I said that Dobby was a hero in this one. So not Dobby, but Overhaul, Muscular, and a bunch of other League of Villains. Yeah, that works. And Shigaraki comes out of Kirigiri's portal with a robotic arm, being like, you thought you would get away without me having to repay you. And so Deku fights them off as best he can, but then he gets overwhelmed and he gets captured. Now, we're going to be staying. Actually, we're going to switch over to his sister's point of view. She was knocked out with the others. They wake up. No one's killed. No one's injured. There's no damages anywhere. It's just that Deku is missing. And so they're just like, where's Deku? And they're just like, okay, we know that a villain attack happened. So where's Deku? And they're just like, they check the security cameras and see that he was fending them off, and then he got overwhelmed and he got captured. And so Kirishima says, yeah, they were only after him because Shigaraki wanted revenge. And so here's where it gets a little bit dark for Deku. Deku's tied up in a chair, and I'm going to say All For One is there. And All For One takes his quirk. He takes Deku's quirk. I know. He's gonna get it back, but just hang in there. So, the torture begins. Everybody gets a shot at him. Um, Even the people with the K quirks get a shot at him. Toga, on the other hand, she's starting to like catch feelings for Deku, so she doesn't really hurt him. She basically like when everybody's done and leaves, because I am gonna say he's gonna be kidnapped for like 2 months. So she's been taking care of him all throughout that time, patching him up, giving him food without anybody knowing and all that. And Deku has caught feelings for Toga, so Toga and Domino have been added to harem. Achievement unlocked. And in this time, Deku has been like, when everybody stopped and left, he's taught Toga how to control her abilities a lot more and all that. So, yeah, she knows how to control her abilities better. And then, I'm gonna say 2 months later, the heroes finally find where they're keeping him. And Deku's in like, even though Toga tried her best to patch him up, he's in pretty bad shape. And he's like mentally jacked up. Not like not like Deadpool jacked up, but I mean like army veteran jacked up. But it will be fixed over time. So they find him tied up to a chair with Toga patching up his wounds and all that, but he does have like a huge scar over it, like tiger scars over his eye, over his left eye. He is also missing an arm because Shigaraku's just like, an arm for an arm. And he basically like has a bunch of broken bones, bruises, and all that all over his body. Cuts, scars, all of that. And he's still conscious when they break in. And he's just like, don't hurt Toga. She's actually been helping me survive for this long. And so Deku goes to a hospital. He gets fixed up because in this, the healing is like way more advanced. So he gets healed up in about 5 weeks. He goes back to school. And from there, everything happens to canon a little bit with the tests and all that. So, yeah. Our island, I'm going to do that in the next part. But for right now, that's where the video ends. And so the next video that comes out in like a couple of minutes is going to be, what if I was in My Hero? And I'll see you then. Peace.